You found the nest on a Tuesday. Gray paper cone, the size of a football, hanging from the eave above your back door. You called the exterminator. He showed up in a full bee suit with a pressurized tank, walked to the nest, sprayed it for 11 seconds, told you to stay inside for 4 hours, and left. $389. 6 weeks later, you found a new nest. Same eave, same corner. That's not a service failure. That's the product working exactly as intended. There's a compound that collapses a wasp nest in 60 seconds, completely at the molecular level. It has been documented in USDA field manuals since 1956, and there is a specific clause in the service agreements of every major franchise that explains precisely why you have never heard it mentioned once. I'll show you that clause at the 7-minute mark. The product your exterminator used is called a pyrethroid aerosol. Biphenthrin or cypermethrin, synthetic versions of a compound derived from chrysanthemum flowers, pressurized in a can. At commercial bulk pricing, the version they loaded into that tank costs 89 cents per application. The retail version of the same product, sold on the shelf at any hardware store, costs $3.29. Their labor, 25 minutes at a field technician rate of $19 per hour. Their total cost to deliver your service call, $11.21. Their charge, $389. That's a 3,370% margin on your fear. But here's what that margin conceals. And this is the part the industry does not want discussed in the same sentence as their service contract. Pyrethroid aerosol kills wasps on contact. Workers in the nest at the time of application, dead within 4 minutes. Workers foraging at the time of application, the 20 to 40% of the colony that was not home, return to a dead nest and disperse. They do not die. They relocate. Within 18 days, a new queen asserts dominance over the site and begins constructing a replacement colony. A new colony is a new service call. This is not a failure of the product. Pyrethroid aerosol is highly effective at killing the wasps it directly contacts. That's the problem. It was never designed to eliminate the colony. It was designed to produce results measurable within 4 hours of the initial application, and to guarantee that the conditions for the next colony are left completely intact. The mechanism responsible for that guarantee is something that has never appeared in any pest control sales pitch. Here's why the 47-cent solution works, and why this is structural biology, not a folk remedy. Wasps do not have lungs. They do not breathe through a nose or mouth. Oxygen is delivered to their flight muscles through 10 small external openings called spiracles, 5 on each side of the abdomen. These spiracles open and close mechanically using a muscle valve controlled by carbon dioxide pressure in the hemolymph. No lungs, no respiratory tract, 10 mechanical valves on the surface of the exoskeleton. Dish soap's active molecule is a surfactant, typically sodium lauryl sulfate. When it contacts the wasp's exoskeleton, it does 2 things simultaneously. First, it strips the waxy protective cuticle layer that keeps water from penetrating the exoskeleton. Second, the surfactant molecules physically infiltrate all 10 spiracle openings. The mechanical valve cannot close against a molecule that has already displaced the air column inside it. Oxygen delivery to flight muscle tissue stops within 12 seconds of contact. The wasp does not sting in response. It cannot coordinate muscle groups for aggression. It loses motor control of wings first, then legs. Complete cessation of movement occurs between 47 and 60 seconds of full contact. Documented in the 1956 USDA Bureau of Entomology Field Application Manual, which you can request directly from the National Agricultural Library. No resistance is possible. This is a mechanical kill, not a chemical one. There is no receptor to mutate, no metabolic pathway to adapt. You are physically blocking the openings that transport oxygen. You might now be thinking, if this is documented in a federal manual since 1956, and the ingredient is dish soap, why has no pest control company adopted it? Here's the answer. Dish soap cannot be patented. It cannot be delivered by a licensed applicator in a way that justifies a service call. A compound that kills the entire visible colony in 60 seconds, leaving no reason for a technician to return, cannot generate the repeat revenue that sustains a franchise operation. The business model did not select for the permanent solution. It selected against it. Systematically. But the product limitation is not the most revealing part of this, because what the industry left untouched, deliberately, is documented in writing. Stop. One number before we continue. $47 million. That is the documented lobbying expenditure by the professional pest control industry, National Pest Management Association, and affiliated trade groups in federal and state regulatory filings between 2012 and 2024. The primary legislative target? Pesticide applicator licensing requirements. Here's what those requirements cover in 9 states: California, New York, Florida, Texas, Washington, Oregon, Colorado, Illinois, and New Jersey. In those states, any substance applied with the explicit intent to kill or repel insects on a residential property is legally classified as a pesticide application. Not by the nature of the substance, by the stated intent. The industry knew in 1956 that surfactant solutions were effective on stinging insects. The USDA manual documented it. What happened next is documented in state regulatory records. Trade group representatives appeared at legislative hearings in each of the above states between 1974 and 1989 and submitted commentary requesting that pesticide applicator licensing language be broadened to include all substances applied with the intent to kill insects, not just registered chemical compounds. In 8 of those 9 states, homeowner self-application on their own property was exempted. But the language stuck, and the industry built an entirely separate revenue architecture around it. Call any of the 3 largest stinging insect franchises operating in the US and ask them to explain exactly why you need a licensed applicator to remove a paper wasp nest. They will cite the state regulatory requirement. They will not mention that the requirement was written with their commentary. They will not mention that it does not apply to you doing this on your own property. The barrier was never safety. It was never chemistry. It was a licensing framework the industry requested around a compound they already knew worked permanently, because that compound required no license and no truck. I pulled standard service agreements from 3 of the largest stinging insect control franchises operating in the US. Every contract is structured identically. Standard service tier: nest removal by mechanical or chemical means. What is explicitly excluded from standard service? Post-removal site treatment. Here is why that exclusion matters, and this is the part that explains the return nest. Paper wasps and yellow jackets produce a compound called queen recognition pheromone, a chemical signal the colony uses to identify its home site. This pheromone is absorbed into the wood, paint, or concrete at the nest attachment point during the colony's active season. It persists in untreated substrate for up to 18 months after the nest is removed. New queens emerging the following spring are chemically attracted to sites that carry this signal. They do not randomly select a new location. They return to the site, the same eave, the same corner, the same 16-inch radius, because the pheromone is still there. A professional removal without pheromone site neutralization does not solve the nesting problem. It removes this season's nest and guarantees next season's colony has a pre-marked location to return to. The neutralization compound is peppermint essential oil, specifically the menthol component, which binds to the same olfactory receptor proteins in wasps that the queen pheromone targets, effectively overriding the signal. This was documented in USDA agricultural station reports in 1952. It costs $2.97 at any grocery store. Post-removal site treatment is not included in any standard franchise service tier. It appears as a premium add-on in 2 of the 3 contracts I reviewed. $65 per visit, separate line item, opt-in. The 3rd franchise doesn't offer it at all. They didn't forget to include it. They priced its exclusion. I have to be precise about where this solution applies, because the honest answer changes the approach. The soap method works on aerial nests, paper wasps, bald-faced hornets, and small yellow jacket aerial colonies. These are nests you can see, built on eaves, branches, window frames, or under deck boards. It does not apply safely to ground nests, large underground yellow jacket colonies, which can contain 15,000 workers and require a different timing and volume strategy. If you have a ground nest, the County Extension Vector Control Program in most states will treat it free upon request. For aerial nests, which represent the overwhelming majority of residential stinging insect calls, what follows eliminates the colony in one application. The timing is the most critical variable, and it's the one piece of information no pest control company has ever volunteered. 5 in the morning. Not evening, not midday, 5 a.m. Paper wasps are cold-blooded. Before sunrise, the nest temperature drops below the threshold for flight muscle activation. Every worker in the colony is physically present in the nest and metabolically unable to initiate an attack response. Forager wasps that would normally be absent are home. The queen is accessible. Mix 4 tablespoons of Blue Dawn dish soap, the original blue formula, not the scented variants, into 16 ounces of warm water in a standard spray bottle. Shake 15 seconds. Position yourself 3 feet from the nest entrance. Spray directly into the entrance hole with a continuous stream for 8 to 12 seconds. Do not spray the exterior surface first. The entrance is the oxygen point. Coat it, and the surfactant floods the interior immediately. Wait 60 seconds without retreating. The wasps that attempt to exit the entrance will collapse at the threshold. Do not move until you see no movement for 30 consecutive seconds. After 4 minutes, place a sealed plastic bag over the nest from the outside inward. Cut the attachment point. Seal the bag, discard. Immediately apply the pheromone neutralizer. 8 drops of peppermint essential oil in 1 cup of water, sprayed directly on the attachment surface and surrounding wood within 12 inches. Reapply once every 30 days through the active season. Total products cost, 56 cents. 1 bottle of Dawn dish soap lasts for 140 applications. The stinging insects control industry generates $8.9 billion annually. Every return nest, every second service call, every seasonal contract renewal. It depends on the pheromones staying in your wood. That's not negligence. That's a retention mechanism with an 18-month shelf life. This week, look at every eave, every overhang, every window frame on your property. Find the bare spot where last year's nest was attached, the small dark oval where wood meets paint at the old mount point. Spray it with peppermint solution before the new queens arrive. Tell me in the comments what you found and where. Every person who neutralizes that site this week is 1 fewer return service call. Next video, dish soap is involved there too. But fleas require a different mechanism, and the reason their treatment has a 73% failure rate across professional services has nothing to do with the product they're using. It has to do with what they've never told you about the flea life cycle. The number is one that their industry tracks internally and doesn't publish.